welcome to this week's episode of the PodBois. I'm your host, Savannah Colbert, and I'm joined by...
Wes Dunbar.
And your boy, R. Nizzle, a.k.a. Ryan Nixon.
We just want to start out this week's episode by sending our thoughts and prayers to the victims of the mass shooting in Las Vegas. I know there's probably places out there to donate money for, like, hospital bills and funeral costs if you have any extra to give. I don't really know any specific ones. I'd have to look it up, but feel free to look it up and donate if you have some.
Yeah, honestly, it's kind of sad that literally almost every week we have had to start saying kind of a memorial for, like, there were 2 weeks that it was like hurricanes, and it just feels like every week it's kind of a crazy world. So hopefully, I don't know what regulations would need to happen. Obviously, hurricanes are unnatural, but are a natural thing, but I don't know. It's just sad. All the mass shootings that seem to be going on. So
yeah,
there's tragedies every week. So
yeah. I mean, not to dive right into politics, but I mean, I think that the criticism that right after a shooting isn't the time to talk about it. Don't politicize it. I feel like that point is just not. I feel like it's moot. Like when this happens with the regularity that it does. You know what? Like,
there's not a time not to.
Right.
If you were going by that, there would not be time to talk about it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's no quote unquote good time to talk about 50 people getting shot with an automatic weapon. But frankly, like, we need to talk about it. I mean, So everything is politicized now, like especially now. But the idea that you can just get away from politics and just like. Hunker down and it'll all go away. Like, that's not true. And like, there's a reason that these things happen. And we won't preach on it too much. Like, we'll sort of like cut it off here. But I mean, I do like hate giving this sort of canned speech about our thoughts and prayers go out. I mean, they do, but after a certain point, thoughts and prayers can only go so far. So hopefully our elected officials can figure something out and figure out a way to keep us safe and from whatever it might be, whether it's a hurricane or a mass shooting.
So we're gonna jump we're gonna jump off of that into our college football picks. So Ryan, what game do we have up first here?
All right, so this one's kind of hitting close to home, aka homecoming. Florida International versus MTSU.
Yeah, boy.
Who y'all got?
So we're having a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air theme for homecoming. So it's the Fresh Raiders of the Borough. And I don't know if you guys have seen, but they made like a 90s themed MTSU hat.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. They're handing them out for free at the football game, so
might need to call out of work.
Yeah, maybe I need to call out and go to the game.
Guys, you've got a baby to take care of? Okay, just talk, like, I don't know, give their baby to your neighbor for like a day, just something.
Come tailgate, get you a 90s hat, and watch the game.
Look, I'm not saying to get drunk and ignore your obligations and loved ones, but that's 100% what you should do to come to MTSU's homecoming. So, I mean, I'm going True Blue all the way. If we don't win by 100... I don't know. I might do something reckless. I might wild out.
I got MTSU. It's kind of obvious. When a school has a homecoming game, they're kind of expected to win.
But Troy,
cough, LSU.
Yeah, unless you're Troy.
Then you come in and wreck homecomings. Let's hope Florida International doesn't do to us what Florida Atlantic did last week. So. Anyways.
You mean Troy did last week?
No, Florida Atlantic did to us last week.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dumbass.
Gosh. Starting the curse off early.
Got him.
All right, next game. We got Western Virginia at Texas Central University.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's go Texas Central, baby.
All right. And Savannah, who you got?
I'm going to have to go Texas Central, the Horned Lizards.
Yeah. Considering that Texas Central doesn't exist, I'm going with them, man.
Yeah,
it's a strong pick.
This is just an imagination game, honestly. But since West Virginia and TCU Twitter has been feuding all week about names, I think the Horned Frogs are going to win just because West Virginia's they're salty right now.
They won that Twitter fight, I'll have to say.
Yeah.
So
No, they did not.
Ooh.
what happened?
Who dunked on who, guys?
Who dunked on who?
Everyone dunked
No,
on
I'm sorry.
everybody.
Who dunked on whom?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hoopst.
TCU Twitter is now going by National Geographic, so I think they're winning the war.
That's what I'm saying. That's
Oh, okay.
hard.
I thought she was roasting TCU. So I took it.
You thought she was saying that
Dumbass.
WVU like
It's
dunked on
constantly.
TCU?
Yeah,
No.
we don't get dunked on.
This is the Red Foreman podcast.
NIT champs,
Yeah.
alright?
We're just calling everybody dumbasses. This is the Red.
I'm gonna
we're
shove my foot so far up your ass.
we're gonna title this episode Red Foreman
Yeah.
or a tribute to Red Foreman.
Oh my gosh. Alright, before it gets too crazy,
This is violent. I like it.
we got number 11 Wazoo, Washington State, at unranked Oregon, 4-1.
So time out before we get into the game. Every time I hear the word wazoo, it makes me think of that like the kid in those videos with the blonde hair, and he's like playing a kazoo. I know it's not the same word at all, but I just think he's
He
like,
said,
ooh.
"We're gonna have fun, bum, bum, bum."
Please look these videos up.
I wish we
don't
could.
know,
I wish we could clip audio bits into because that'd be
Yeah.
hilarious. Just play that bit after this.
But y'all just look up Kazoo Kid on,
Yeah,
on
Kazoo
YouTube.
Kazoo.
That's exactly how he says it.
Alright, so I got Washington State in this one. It's gonna be a bloodbath. But the Cougars, I think National Geographic would tell you. Cougars beat Ducks. It's no challenge.
This has absolutely nothing to do with the game, but I saw on Twitter there was this video floating around. It was a clip from the Friday Night Lights TV show, and Coach Eric Taylor is just sitting out in his truck, and just out of nowhere, Mike Leach, the coach for Wazoo, just comes up and just starts giving him life advice. And the scene makes no damn sense, which is why I think it's perfect for Mike Leach. He's just standing there saying stuff like, "Yo, if you want to seek the path to the end zone, the fullback trap is the tornado to your hurricane." And Eric Taylor's just sitting there solemnly nodding yeah, that's true. And Mike Leach, I think he had a burrito in his hand or something. It was the weirdest scene I've ever seen in my entire
I
life.
haven't seen this, and I'm
Oh my god! I wish we could clip the audio in because it is so unbearably weird. But it's perfect, and it's Mike Leach. And because I saw that video, Wazoo's gonna win 56-3. So I'm picking Wazoo, baby. They don't call it air raid for nothing. This is gonna be the Wazoo is gonna play the Luftwaffe to the other team's London City in the year 1940. Okay.
I'm gonna have to disagree with y'all, and I'm picking Oregon. The Ducks are gonna fly into the end zone. That's my prediction. I don't have anything that I'm basing that on other than Oregon has some cool jerseys. So
That's a good reason. So
let's go Ducks.
We got number 1 Alabama at Texas A&M.
Texas A&M all the way.
Oh my! So
No, I'm just kidding.
that's a hot
Listen,
take right
I kind of
there.
want to go with every upset pick.
I probably am going to take Texas A&M, but maybe off a field goal, or should I say a 31-point comeback from behind victory over Nick Saban.
So I think that it will help Texas A&M that it's at Texas A&M, but Alabama is still, I think, will come out on top.
Look.
This is totally opposite than what I picked last time.
Yeah, I don't think I picked Wazoo last time.
You
either.
didn't.
So it was that damn video. It was so creepy. Mike, I'm not kidding, and I don't mean to keep bringing it up. Literally, Mike Leach just walks up to Eric Taylor, just sitting in his truck, and he's like, the true mind samurai brings a sword that is the ISO play on the goal line. And Eric Taylor's yep. And Mike Leach didn't even act in that scene. They were just all right, so coach, where's he at? And everybody's like, oh my god, he's on set. And the director's like, you know what? The hell with it. Let's just start shooting. And the guy that plays Eric Taylor is just like, what the hell? But Mike Leach comes up and he just starts just rambling. He's like, do you know where the nearest subway is? And Eric Taylor's like, this is the worst moment of my acting career, but I'm just gonna roll with it. Mike Leach is like,
A wooden chair might hold a fat man, but a steel chair made of the Statue of Liberty playing the Cotton Bowl will win every time. 60% of the time with a lampshade. By the way, where's the nearest restroom?
like it is so weird, but that alone just made me want to not only be a Wazoo fan, I want to pick them in every game from now on. 'Cause it's so weird. And Mike Leach is such an odd human being, but you know what?
He's living his life.
He's living his best life. You know what? So in summary, you do you, Mike Leach. You do you.
Alright, so if y'all are feeling like deja vu, it's probably because we went back to the Washington State pick.
Yeah.
But in summary,
Look, I'm sorry.
I'm taking Texas A&M.
I had to bring it back up.
You know what? I'm completely changing my pick. I'm going to go Texas A&M
Oh.
because last time, I know we're re-recording this podcast because last night's just
Yeah,
did
we were
not
dead.
turn out. We were all like half asleep. It was really boring. So
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
gonna say that Alabama's good for one loss usually
Yeah.
per season. They'll still go to the national championship, I think.
Probably, but
Probably.
that's definitely not set in stone.
It's
but
not set in stone. That's just my
They're
prediction.
yeah. I mean, they're
And-
at the top of the pack.
But they're usually good for one loss. Texas A&M could be the one to do it.
You know what, guys? Texas A&M playing at home at the Chris Kyle Memorial Field. That's totally not their stadium name, but you know, whatever. 100,000 Aggies, you know, waving around their towels and
Standing for the flag.
standing for the flag, respecting the heck out of some troops and Chris Kyle, waving around their towels and like underwear and stuff. I mean, that would intimidate anybody. I mean, Nick Saban's not actually a human being. He's just like a compilation of like NCAA 14 playbooks crammed into a computer file and then like put into a T100 Terminator bot. But I mean, you have to think that even within his cold, like calculating, just terrifying steel mainframe, that he will even realize like this is when a normal human would be kind of intimidated. So, you know what? I'm going to give a slight advantage to Alabama still, but I'm going to say look out. The Aggies, they're sharpshooters. Like the person that their stadium was named after.
Listen, we know Texas A&M just hasn't been the same since. Bet you thought I was gonna say Johnny Football left, right?
Yeah.
You'd be wrong. Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah, there you go.
That's who it is. He's the more important Texas A&M quarterback.
There's a
Hot
100%
take.
chance that Johnny Manziel's passed out in a ditch somewhere right now. Like,
What if he listens to it in Susan?
yeah, he's like, all right, you, bro. We'll beep it out. So,
We'll digress.
Yeah.
So the last game that we have is Oregon State at number 14 USC. And while this might seem like an irrelevant game,
So
it's totally relevant.
we have to bring up the USC game every week because they're the Trojans, and this week they're playing the Beavers. So
I'm going to lay it down for you guys. Some Trojans are going to get up inside some beaver, and hopefully they don't tear under the pressure and spill out the contents of their season and their hopes onto the soil, fertilizing it. And this is really going off the rails.
Okay, I understand.
What do you guys got? What are your...
I'm gonna say the Trojans are gonna blast through the Beavers.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Gonna blast through some beaver.
I'm going to say that,
I don't know if that Trojan D can really stand up to that beaver.
I'm just going to take this a completely different way. So the Trojan horse was wood. I'm going to say the Beavers are going to chew up all the wood of the Trojan horse.
The wood. I
Hey, you
And
know
at the
what?
end of the game, all the Trojans are going to be able to say is, damn.
You came to get beat like that? Oh, God. Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay, so maybe we should have gave a spoiler that this was going to get bad. But
This is we're gonna do this every week, guys. This is the
USC
Trojan
is a
pick.
consistent pick.
and on bye weeks, we're just going to talk about what's going on at USC. So if they lost, we'll give a recap of the previous week's game. Okay, so in all seriousness, I got USC. They're coming back and they're going to beat Oregon State pretty bad. I mean, they took an L whenever they fumbled at the last second, so they really dropped the ball.
Yeah, they really dropped their balls, didn't they? The Trojans.
Literally. It happened.
So I'm gonna have to go with USC too because surely to God they won't like mess this game up.
So you say that.
I know, but like they did last week, so you know the
analytics
Trojans
prove otherwise.
The Trojans busted.
Guys, you know what? Beaver has never let me down, and I don't think it will this week. I'm picking the Beaver.
Listen,
and-
Wes says the only thing I can count on is the First Amendment and Beavers.
And Beav, dude. That's all I have. Beav and the First Amendment and Harambe. That's all I have in this
Oh.
life, okay?
It's been a minute.
Yeah, deep cuts. So, yeah, but not seriously. I'm going to go with Oregon State.
Oh,
Just
what?
'cause I like the upset.
They're 1-4.
Yep. Hey,
They're garbage.
hey, it's a good time to be 2-4. You feel me?
Okay.
Do you think the Trojans will bust again?
The Trojans will bust under enough pressure, guys. I'm telling you. Okay, so in other sports news, Cam Newton had an incident off the field. This actually literally just happened today, like a couple hours before we started recording. So I'm just going to read. This is the CBS Sports report. It says, during the quarterback's weekly press conference on Wednesday, things got awkward after Newton basically laughed at the fact that a female reporter was asking him a question. The question came from Jordan Rodrigue, who serves as the Panthers beat writer for the Charlotte Observer. She's asking him a question about, the routes that his receivers are running and how, physical they're being. And it says, Newton responded to the question by smiling. And then he says, "It's funny to hear a female talk about routes like that," Newton said. "It's funny." And then he kind of goes into his answer to the question. So the big debate on Twitter now was this sexist? And if so, to what degree? So I guess I'll let you guys go.
So I want to go first because
Okay.
I feel personally attacked here. Seeing as I just talked about college football myself.
Right.
But anyways, this woman literally went to college and got her degree in, I'm assuming sports journalism.
Mm-hmm.
She studied that. She follows the Panthers herself. She's probably a Panthers fan. So to go on there as a professional and ask a question and be laughed at for it is, in my opinion, it's pretty bad.
Yeah. To my knowledge, I haven't ever heard of Cam Newton saying anything like this before. Mm-hmm. So I mean, I'm willing to give people the benefit of the doubt in most situations. And Cam Newton's a player that I actually really like. I've always kind of liked Cam Newton and how just how he is and his mentality. But yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Savannah. This was really inappropriate. Even if he didn't intend for it to be sexist. It's extremely inappropriate to laugh at a reporter's question. I mean, unless they're trying to make you laugh or something. If it's a joke, that's okay. But clearly, she was just doing her job, and then
she was asking a serious question, and it was it was a good question too.
Right. It's not it's not like that. She's clearly just some novice who doesn't have any clue what she's talking about. So yeah, I mean, I was a little bit frustrated with Cam. I'm like, do better because you're better than that, man. Come on. So
yeah, I mean, I'm kind of with y'all. I think that it was inappropriate, but like you said, I don't know that Cam really probably even meant it that way. I think maybe it just kind of slipped, and I don't know. He always seems like an easygoing guy, and maybe he just didn't appropriate the situation with how serious it would come out.
Right.
It kind of felt to me, it felt like when I was in middle school and if I said, hey, Wes, do you watch the Vols game this weekend? Me and Wes went to middle school together.
Yeah.
So, hey, Wes, do you watch the Vols football game this weekend? He's like, did you? Did you even know what was going on?
I don't think I did that. I got to defend my honor here. But, every week we kind of feature a Clay Travis take, so we might as well give one this week. I saw that he tweeted something along the lines of, like, if Cam Newton was white, the liberal ESPN or left-wing sports media would roast him to death or whatever. And I'm like...
He is being roasted to death.
I'm like, this is the same guy who, like, hates when liberals bring race into things. And then his first instinct is, to bring race into things. So I literally just, like, replied to his tweet, like, Trey Clavis. Like, that's the only thing I could think of. I'm like, that was such a stupid tweet. You get a stupid response, man.
I've got some tweets. So this is some random guy. It's a dad. His bio on Twitter is follower of Jesus, husband, father. He's one of those guys, So he said his statements weren't offensive, no more so as a woman saying to a man, "Funny to hear a man talk about makeup and hair." To which Fleck to the Hill replied, "If the man's occupation is literally talk about makeup and hair, then it'd be pretty offensive to say that to him."
Right.
So, if a man went to school, he went to cosmetology school, and he was a professional at doing makeup and hair, and then you were like, "Man, it's funny to see you do makeup and hair as a guy."
Yeah.
He'd be like,
What? That's kind of like all of those videos of, like, what will happen? Like those social experiment videos where, like, they'll go in, like, into, like, a black barbershop and have, like, the one white guy just be like, "All right, I can line you up, whoever's ready." And, like, but he'll legitimately be, like, a barber that, like, went to school and everything. And everybody's like, I don't know, man. But it's just, so, I don't know. It is, like, take people seriously when they're at their jobs, I guess. Don't be a dick, and don't, especially if you're Cam, you got to be smarter than that. Like, when you're thinking about saying that, before it comes out of your mouth, you got to think, like, how could this be interpreted, in a way that's
he's really in the spotlight. Like, he's the quarterback, and, like, he's had lots of media attention in the past, so he's got to think about what he's doing.
Yeah.
I just want to know what his thought process on his beard or like facial hair.
What's up with that? Did you guys see that? That was.
Why is it dyed blonde? I've never seen.
I thought he had like a bandage or something, like where
no,
it's
it's like an Odell on his beard. Honestly, it's kind of hard. But...
I gotta look it up now.
You know what, Cam making all kinds of bad decisions on and off the field. So.
Well, I'll forgive him this time, but maybe his fantasy points will. Maybe I'll get some fantasy points.
I'll be sitting Mr. Newton this week in fantasy. So, okay. So, we do have a little bit of a follow-up this week. Last week we brought you the riveting tale of a young lady who was supposedly stabbed by none other than one Nicki Minaj during her childhood. Of course, I'm talking about Miss Tamika Williams. Ryan's got a follow-up for us on that. Ryan, this is some, like, shoe leather reporting.
So I went to look and see what was going on with this drunk on circus.
Dunk on circus.
And turns out that her account's been suspended. So I don't want to assume, because we all know what happens when you assume. But I think this just adds to the take that this is fake.
Yeah.
I feel like they're reviewing to see if this is actually Tamika or if someone somehow found this tweet from 2012 and was like, I can make an account called Tamika and reply to this.
Turns out it's Tamika.
Although, like, it could be that she, like, just got hassled so much that she just deleted her Twitter.
I feel like suspended. Wouldn't that be like? Isn't it like Twitter
jail?
jail?
It says suspended.
Oh, okay. Maybe, I don't know then.
Was Twitter jail ever even a thing?
It is now, apparently. Oh, wow. Maybe,
So I didn't think they did that anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
the last person I ever heard of getting, like, suspended from Twitter was, Milo Yiannopoulos, Yabba-Dabba-Doo-opoulos or whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I feel like you have to be pretty controversial to get your account straight up deleted by, like, the Twitter team. So, I don't know, that's... Tamika, look, if you're out there, we want you on the show. We want to hear your side, okay? Reach out to us. Hit us up. we want to know what you're thinking, man. We want to hear you out.
And
So
we'll even give you a spoon, all right? That's how respectable.
Yeah, we won't disrespect you with a fork. So,
No.
all right. So our next topic.
It's another follow-up.
Yeah, this is another follow-up.
And-
So Ryan,
I spent a lot of my time, and honestly, I didn't know how it was going to go, but I promised the world that I would look up and try and count the yes that Lil Uzi said. And I figured out that I kind of had to set a little bit of boundaries. So if, like, it was an echo, like an obvious echo and not him just saying yeah, I didn't count the echoes. But if he said, like, yeah, I counted that 3 different times. So, I just want to say, how many yeahs do you think he said in his album, Love Is Rage 2?
I'm going to have to go with 312.
all right. So let me.
There was 16 songs.
16 songs. Okay, so if there were, I'll be conservative and say 5 yes on every single song.
There's some songs that I know he says like multiple times in the chorus he'll say yeah. So there's some songs he says at least like 50 in the song.
What? So 5 times 15 is what? 150.
Yeah.
So 155. That seems really. Oh,
No, 10 times.
10 times
15
15 would be 155 or 150.
what's 5 times 16?
We're gonna edit this out.
80.
80, yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll just round up and say 100.
Well, y'all are both wrong, and honestly, the number was lower than I thought it would be. But it's 245, which is an average of 15.3. But on some of the songs, it was a lot higher than others. This one song called No Sleep, I counted 32. And I thought maybe there were a couple lurking in the shadows that I couldn't hear. But,
Ryan, how many times did you listen to this
and so
album?
tour, there was only 10. I was kind of shocked. The main song, I listened to this album during the week probably about 5 times.
Oh my. In other news, we're checking Ryan into a rehab facility.
Well, sometimes it's just the way life goes.
Yeah. So.
And,
Wow. Well, Ryan, thank you for that. Like shoe leather reporting. That was like on the ground. So that's some old school journalism. All right. So we have our Twitter instant take, hot take section. So Savannah's going to read us off a couple Twitter moments, just some stuff she's found from Twitter, and just kind of get our initial reaction from it. So Savannah.
So the first Twitter moment I had pulled up was the ha-ha section. So it's a funny story.
Okay.
So the title is Oops, Grandma Accidentally Buys Swear-Filled Book for 6-year-old. The name of the book is If Animals Could Talk.
Okay.
So
there's a lot of cute animals in the cover.
I'm with it so far.
It looks like a regular children's book with If Animals Could Talk.
We regret to inform you that this book is racist.
So, first thing is a picture of a polar bear, and the thing that the polar bear said is, I think I have a coat problem.
Oh, by the way, if there are any swear words, so then
I'm gonna
say
Okay.
Alright,
so
there's a chick, and he said, "Alright, let's tear the roof off this mother bleep."
Hell yeah, dude. So there's a chick, but it's a he.
Well,
So this is a pretty inclusive book, man. I like this.
Yeah, I dig it.
Yeah, I'm with it. I heck with the vision.
there's a wiener dog.
Oh yeah.
The wiener dog says, "Oh yeah, well you look like a vagina."
To who?
I don't know. I'm assuming he's supposed
Yeah,
to
he's
be.
talking to the reader.
He's replying to someone calling him a wiener.
Ah, okay. I follow.
The kangaroo said, "Where the bleep are my keys?" I don't know why.
In his pouch.
There's a cat, and he kind of has like Harry Potter's little mark,
Okay.
I think. He says, "What kind of sorcery is this?"
It's a cat.
I don't know.
It's a cat. Yep.
How much they selling this book for? I'll buy it.
I kind of want to know. I don't know, but that's about it for the
So
book.
it kind of seems like that book just has like innocuous, like pages that are immediately followed by just like the most outrageous like lyrics from like a gangster rap of like Lil Jon or something.
I'm gonna read it someday.
Yeah, I want to read it. This is next on our reading list. All right, so what else do we have on the Twitter moments?
Alright, so for our next Twitter moment, we have the Weather Channel came up with their list for the winter storms of the 2017-2018 season. And there's been some pretty funny memes to come from it. So the names are like Aiden, Benji, Chloe, Dylan, Ethan, Frankie, Grayson, Liam, Mateo. That's a new TV show. Link y'all up to it. It's called Superstore. It's on Hulu.
Ooh.
It's pretty funny. He's like the gay guy that works there. He's pretty cool. But anyways, we get on down into the list and it goes Riley, Skylar, Toby, Uma. So naturally there was some office jokes because Toby, yeah. So there was like one that said, when you see Toby could be coming back as a storm, and it has like the gif of Michael screaming, "No, please God, no."
No!
Someone said, "I think this is a list for my son's first grade class." So it's like it's a lot of names that millennials would name their children.
Oh, so what's that supposed to mean?
Yeah.
It means we have some basic ass names.
No, here's what it means. It means millennials are literally what's wrong with America.
Yeah.
Here's another. 60% of these storms are going to have informally diagnosed food allergies.
I'm so allergic.
I'm so allergic to gluten.
I'm allergic to hazelnut.
I've never even had hazelnut.
But only in liquid form. If it's in a spray or some sort of shavings, it's fine.
Here's one that says, "I'm pretty sure I saw these storms inviting an unpopular girl to a party, then dunking on her for laughs." They used our term.
They used our code word.
Damn, yeah, we gotta sue them, guys. Okay, but technically I got that from like weird Twitter, so I don't know how much we can really claim that.
Well,
We're getting
I'm going to claim it on our taxes.
dunked on.
Didn't you put dunked on with the trademark symbol? So obviously it's true.
That's true. That's true. That hometown Twitter, as well as what else? What else do we have? We've got that.
Standing for troops.
We'd stand for the troops.
We trademarked it, so everyone that says they don't stand for the troops, well,
Yep.
no, they technically can't because we trademarked it. So.
We're the only people allowed to stand for the troops
Yeah,
because
that's
we
true.
respect them more than anyone else in this world.
That's true. Actually, this was controversial, but we trolled Clay Travis by trademarking his name, so he can't even appear in public anymore without like directly paying. Like his money goes into our bank account every time he appears on TV or Twitter or anything. He's since deleted his account, and like we won the Nobel Peace Prize. Like 3 governors gave us like honorary citizenship in their state and a key to their biggest city. So it's controversial, but like these are the things we do for you and for the internet,
So,
really.
We're out there looking out for you by trademarking the important things.
But my question is, if you were going to name a hurricane, what would you name it?
Dude, Clay. Oh my God.
I would have to name it Hurricane D'Amica.
Yeah, Hurricane D-Bat for Clay. Hurricane Fort.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just to like, she probably like lives on the
Oh,
Florida
God.
coast and
Could you imagine like the news comes on, it's like, yeah, a new tropical storm forming off the coast of Africa, and she like kind of like looks up a little bit, she's like, oh man, that sucks. And then like it like time slows down and like some intense music starts playing, and in slow motion like the newscaster goes, its name is Fork, and like she just like drops her cup of coffee or something like dramatically.
falls to her knees.
yeah,
It's like, why, God?
Like you see like a cut scene, and it's like 3 years later, and she's like traversing like the mountains of Tibet. Like she's become a monk to escape the Hurricane Fork, and like she gets to this monastery of just monks who have never like had contact with the outside world, and she gets there, and she's like, finally, I've sought refuge in 39 different countries and 28 different municipalities. Please, I just need shelter from forks. And the chief monk just looks at, like, turns around. He had his back to her, and he was eating a salad, and he has in his hand, like, the most pristine metal fork you've ever seen. And her head just explodes, and her, like, knees become jello, and, like,
So,
she falls down on the ground crying.
I want to just go ahead and copyright this so Hollywood can make a movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that was dope.
Instead of the Holy Grail, it's the lost part of the Holy Grail, like the fork that came with it.
Like, on a mission to get away from something else, she finds not only the Holy Grail, but also herself. Like, this is some real eat, pray, love shit right here. But the only difference is she's running from a kitchen utensil. So I think it could work, guys. Let's pitch it.
Yep.
We trademarked that too.
So we're gonna sell this to Hollywood. So I'm sorry if I don't recognize you.
This is the type of stupid shit. Like, I can't even imagine, like, somebody, like, picking this up and being like, yeah, this is amazing. This is the best thing I've ever heard. But you know what? I've heard stupider, so we can cut that part. That was just me thinking out loud.
I apologize for, like, our weird thoughts.
So, Savannah, what else you got for us?
Anything else? Any other topic?
We got some tragic news for you guys.
Okay. This is another hot take, I guess.
It's gonna be 3 years before the next Fast and Furious movie.
I wish it was 300
Yeah,
years.
I don't give a heck.
There's been like 5 billion.
Why are we still making them is what I want to know. Why do you guys keep paying money to go see
Dude,
Fast and Furious 10?
Let's be real. I'll watch the next one, honestly.
guys, the Fast and Furious market, like, their target, like, demographic is 100% like trashy white people or rednecks.
Dude, I'll watch
That's
it.
it. Like, it's just
What the heck?
it's just that demographic, and
I
like
haven't watched like the last 5.
it's just angry white people that want to see shit run into other shit, and like, you know what I'm saying? It's not even
The whole idea of Fast and Furious changed. If you look at movie like 1, it was like street racing, and now they're like doing like
Fast and Furious in space.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
Like,
give a shit.
Intense crime, fighting, and
It's
committing
like
crimes.
it's like the gang saves the world. Like, what? They're a bunch of street hustlers. The whole point is that they just race.
Yeah.
Why are they saving
That
the
was
world?
the original point of the movie. Was
I think the
fact-
last movie, like, they literally defused an atom bomb or something.
It was hard, though.
It's like, they're just street racers.
It was awesome, though.
It's just like Vin Diesel and a bunch of other oiled up people.
I don't know if y'all seen it, but the hardest scene I've ever seen in a movie is when The Rock is like laying in the hospital bed, cast and all, and his daughter's beside him, and he's like straight up rips his arm out of the cast and says, "Daddy's gotta go to work."
Oh my god.
It was hard, alright?
Yo, my favorite part was when Paul Walker came back to life from the dead and voted for Donald Trump. That was the best part of the whole movie series right there, baby.
Oh, okay.
So,
Spoiler alert.
yeah, spoiler alert, guys. You know, not to ruin it. All right, guys. So we got anything else?
Also, I got something.
Okay.
Donald Trump Kobeing the freaking tissues and toilet
towels.
paper towels. I ain't gonna lie. Was it disrespectful? Maybe a little bit. But was his form on point? Yeah. I want to put him on 2K, honestly.
So there's, if you haven't seen it yet, look up the picture of Donald Trump, like, literally basketball shooting paper towels into the crowd in Puerto Rico who is, like, completely devastated by a hurricane and struggling for food and necessities.
There's literally probably like 500, like, just a massive, like, crowd of like 500 people in front of Donald Trump, like, begging the president of the United States, like, to give them food or water and or electricity or basic amenities. And he's like, you know what the perfect thing to do right now would be? To shoot freaking paper towel rolls into the crowd. What, like...
Oh, you want some water and some AC?
Yeah. Yeah, let me...
Kobe, there's some
Kobe.
paper towels.
I'll give him some credit, though.
All right, look.
Supposedly, the people said that they enjoyed it, so...
I mean, it was funny, but it's like...
Was it appropriate,
Yeah,
though?
like I'm sure in a certain circumstance, like what Cam Newton said would have been funny, but it's like
Yeah, like if they were just hanging out, like if I said that to Savannah,
Yeah.
I mean, you could kind of pass it as a joke, but
yeah. Time and place.
I'll still beat your ass.
I mean, look, okay. Is our president a 12-year-old? Yes. Is he a nincompoop? Yes. Is he possibly geriatric and slowly slipping further and further into a dementia-fueled, like, just obnoxiously atrocious, horrible presidency that's bound to end in, like, either him dying, resigning, or getting impeached, or killing all of us? Yes.
I can't say yes because that kind of went on for a while. I don't even know what you said.
I'll agree to everything you said.
His shot's on point.
But that form, though. That form.
I want to buy him a shooting sleeve, honestly, like one of those patriotic ones. That would be hard.
Can you imagine him wearing like an American flag shooting
He'd
sleeve?
do it. I guarantee.
Guys, look, if Kobe Bryant, like, tweeted directly, like, at real Donald Trump, I support you, sir. I want to help you. I want to help you in your fight against the Antifas. Sir, I respect you, and I just want to MAGA. There's a 100% chance that our president, like our special boy president, would walk out onto the White House lawn in a Kobe jersey. And I'm not talking like 24 Kobe. I'm talking about the old school Kobe number 8 rapist jersey. Like, that would happen. 100%.
They would make Space Jam 2, like Donald Trump and
would,
Kobe versus the world. That's what they did.
Donald Trump would put the full weight of the United States government behind the making of Space Jam 2 with Kobe Bryant.
What happened to Donald Trump's appearances on shows? Like, he used to, in the 90s, he made appearances on, like, The Nanny and The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. What happened to that?
Well, see, that's actually part of, like, a little conspiracy theory, like a mini conspiracy theory about, like, how he actually is kind of, like he maybe has Alzheimer's or some sort of, like, degenerative disease now. And, like, I say it's kind of funny to say, but it is actually, like, serious. Like, he really might have that because like you said, in the 90s, he would go on, like, Oprah and, like, all these talk shows or even, like, the news and talk about, like, politics. And, you know, he would sound fairly reasonable. Like, things he said kind of made sense and they were fluid, coherent sentences. Whereas now, like, he opens his mouth and just this giant pile of, like, garbage and bile just streams out. There's, like, evil bats and thunder somewhere in there. It's like a haunted house. You see, like, the scene from It where, like, he's dancing in the flames or whatever. So, yeah, like, I don't know what happened, but the only thing I can think is that he's just, like, slowly creeping into dementia as he turns further and further geriatric. I don't know. Our president is a very special boy, and he needs a lot of attention, frankly. So, so Kobe, make it happen, man.
And John Cena, maybe do an AA, an attitude adjustment, get him back in the ring. Because I want to see the first president at a WWE show. I don't think I've ever seen it. So
Guys,
I gotta see it.
Guys, our president hasn't been the same since Stone Cold Steve Austin stunnered him into the next dimension.
That's why he ran.
Yeah, he was so embarrassed because he did such a horrible job of selling the Stone Cold Stunner. He was so disgraced. He thought the only way that I can, like, gain any pride in myself and my country again is to run it and run it into the ground. And you know what? I'm going to do it, baby.
He said, "Oh yes, Steve, hold my beer." And so he was. That's why he originally ran for the Republican ticket. Mm-hmm. And whenever he got back to Steve and was like, "Oh, you like this?" and he realized Steve had drank the beer, he's like, "I'm going all the way this time." Yeah, he was just mad.
This is the last straw.
Because you can't give Stone Cold a beer and not expect him to smash it on his head and drink it.
Yeah. Well, guys, I think we've covered just about everything. You guys have any final comments?
No.
I'll forego my rant. I feel like we had pretty good.
Yeah, I feel like
pretty good little bit there at the end.
I'm not that mad today.
So,
thank God.
Whew, I got work tomorrow. It's gonna be horrible.
I'm still mad. Just Savannah, and y'all said Texas Central.
Yep, that's what it is.
I'm salty.
Okay, so once again, I'm going to link our Twitter account. It's PodBoys_podcast. You can find us on SoundCloud, and if you just type in PodBoys, surely.
Or if you're listening to this, then you're already there.
Yeah. So we want to thank you guys. Well, maybe that came from.
I was about to say, I set up our Spreaker account today, so we will officially should be able to put this podcast on Apple.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So hopefully,
So if you're listening to this on Apple, disregard that last part.
we'll be able to be on Apple here pretty soon. Other than that, I don't have anything. You guys got anything?
PodBois is spelled with an I.
Yeah.
If you're looking up our Twitter account, it's PodBois
Yeah.
_podcast.
I want to use this second to say that we are gender inclusive, or else. So even though it says boys, we've got a female.
We
And she does know her routes.
Yeah, exactly. We thought about putting just Pod X, just to be gender neutral, but you know we bit the bullet, and you know we
Listen, we
put
all
the
play
middle logo.
NCAA.
yeah. So
Savannah made her coach on NCAA. And, it
Oh,
was still
wow.
Savannah
There
Colbert.
isn't a female.
It was still Savannah.
yeah, transphobic much NCAA? What the hell? Like,
There isn't a female coach on there.
very
so I had a male coach named Savannah.
very very problematic, guys.
I was watching her play and saw that on the it said Savannah Colbert, and it was a guy. I was like,
Okay.
We stand in solidarity with our fictionalized video game coaches who are also transgendered.
I completely understand how to play the game. To be honest, I was the worst recruiter in the history of recruiting. I have 0 team coming back. A
It's all
mob
good.
dynasty.
It's all good, baby.
But, you know, we had our 1 year run, national championship, Heisman winner.
You got to set your recruiting to like auto recruiting if you don't want to do it.
I
'Cause
should
otherwise,
have because
yeah,
I
you're
tried,
screwed.
but I didn't understand exactly how to do
You're
it.
screwed, dude.
I am screwed. My best player went to the NFL, so there
Hmm.
goes that.
on Madden 19, if it's not like press X to kneel, I'm not buying.
That's like on Call of Duty. It's like press X to pay respects or whatever at the funeral. And you know what? On that note,
PodBois,
we do respect our troops. Thank you guys for listening. PodBois,
Break.
And salute
Out.
the flag.
out.